Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Friends Talking Nerdy. This is Tim Jousma going solo here with the Reverend Tracy packing up and moving all the way across country to Maine. I thought it wise to have a bonus episode in the books, so here we are. Don't know what day we're going to release this, but it will be released and you will enjoy. And we are going to be talking about the show Loki here. As we record this, we're about a half hour away from episode 4 debuting on Disney Plus. And what I wanted to do was just kind of talk about the show for a little bit. We'll have a musical interlude, and then when I come back, I'll give you my thoughts on the latest episode here. So the season so far, Loki is captured by the Time Variance Authority after the events of Avengers Endgame, which saw 2012 Loki escape with the Tesseract. And since then, he had been helping them and discovered that there was a variant Loki that was a woman who called herself Sylvie. Interesting enough, because Sylvie in the comics is actually a character I've long waited to show up in the MCU, and that is the Enchantress. So at the end of episode 3 last week, as we record this, Loki and Sylvie were on a planet, Lamentus 1, that was going to explode, and they had one chance to fix the temp pad in order to travel back in time. But the way they do that, the way they plan to do it, was to get a power source on a rocket ship that was going off the planet that was about to explode. But the episode ended with that rocket ship getting hit by an asteroid and blowing up. So who knows what will happen here at the end of the episode. But we did learn some stuff. We did learn that despite what was said at the beginning of the show, the folks in the Time Variance Authority were not made by the Timekeepers. They were regular folks that had their minds wiped. So that begs to ask what is actually going on now. The 3 lizard creatures that they have in statues that supposedly lead the Time Variance Authority. One of them supposedly, in my opinion, kind of looks like Kang the Conqueror, and that would be totally awesome if we had a chance to see Kang debut on one of the shows here, because that's if you're a comic book fan or even a fan of like the Marvel cartoons from the past and seen Kang the Conqueror at work, you know they can have a lot of fun with him. I mean, he's Thanos level big, and we already know Kang is going to be in the Ant-Man 3. Quantum Mania, and there are also rumors that we are already in the quantum realm with the TVA, based on how it looks. But anyway, cannot wait for the latest episode here. Marvel is definitely going full steam ahead on all cylinders, and weirdly enough, the pandemic kind of closing the world down for a year did kind of temper what could have easily been Marvel overload. Because just imagine if there was no pandemic and they stuck with their original release schedule, we would have already been past the Eternals right now. And so having that break before WandaVision started up was definitely nice, and just what they've done with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier as well as Loki, I really like it. So so we're gonna make this a quick episode. We're not gonna make this one over an hour and a half one. So right now I think we're gonna break for the musical interlude, and then from there, after that, we'll kick back up and I'll tell you my thoughts on the latest episode of Loki. So hang tight. And welcome back. Just wrapped up with Loki episode 4, and I'm going to share some of my thoughts here. And I'll be brief. I'm not going to keep this going super long here. But the episode found Loki and Sylvie ended up becoming rescued because, for whatever reason, there was a Nexus event that occurred that allowed them to be tracked by the TVA. So they were recaptured, and then from there, kind of separated and kind of interrogated interrogated, but during the interrogation for both Sylvie and Loki, they were able to plant some doubt into some of the TVA officials as to what is going on. But we ultimately have a lot of shocking things occur. In the episode, Owen Wilson, his character Mobius is disintegrated, and we ultimately do meet the three timekeepers, where there's a big battle where Loki is also disintegrated, but before he is disintegrated, we find out that the timekeepers were androids. We don't know who's actually running things. Kind of a Wizard of Oz type of situation right here. We know somebody is behind the curtain, but we don't know who just yet. So the credits ran with Sylvie holding one of the disintegrating sticks on Owen Wilson's boss. I forgot her character name, and saying, "Tell me everything." Then we had the credits, and then we had the first post-credit scene in Loki. Loki wakes up. We don't know where he's at yet, but he is met by Richard Grant, legendary English actor, dressed up in a traditional comic-accurate Loki costume. So what I suspect we're going to see is that a lot of the people that we've seen disintegrated, like Mobius, Owen Wilson's character, will be alive somewhere else. What was that? Doctor Who. That's I know a lot of people have already mentioned some comparisons between Loki and Doctor Who already, but I just thought back to Christopher Eccleston's season when they were on the Satellite of Love or whatever it was, like hundreds of years in the future, and it was like one of the last episodes before the big season finale where Eccleston regenerated into Tennant's version of the Doctor. But yeah, definitely taken from Doctor Who there. So this kind of leaves it open as to what we are dealing with. I mean, there are 6 episodes in this series, so being that we're on episode 4, I would be absolutely shocked if we don't know who the big bad guy is by next week. But who knows? But overall, I will say the episode is really good. But with a story being told like this, you do got to hold back judgment somewhat, because you don't know how it's going to end. So consider this a chapter in a story. If you're reading a book and chapter 23 sticks out as a well-written chapter, that's great to be able to say that, but you also got to take into account that just because you got one good chapter doesn't mean the other chapters work really well. So you got to take everything in context here, and we'll definitely revisit Loki when the series ends. But again, just wanted to have a little something in the books here, just in case we have some scheduling issues. Thank you for taking a few minutes to talk about Loki with me, and tune in again next time, every Wednesday and Saturday on this podcast feed. We'll have some form of entertainment for you, and if you like what you hear, definitely give us a shout out on social media. It's easy to find us by clicking the links in in the show description here, and just follow us, spread the word too. We would definitely appreciate it. So once again, thank you all for listening.
Subscribe to Friends Talking Nerdy on iTunes, the Google Play Music Store, as well as Spotify. Remember to support Friends Talking Nerdy on Patreon. Goodbye, darling.